Okay.
Are you going to do it with me?
No, I'm going to read it for you. Okay. Yeah. It's, this one is called Perfect Health, The Complete Mind-Body Guide by Deepak Chopra. And it goes along with the brain tap that's coming that I'm so excited about. And it validates everything about all of it, that it's all going to be so good. So we'll just come into this moment right here, right now, and we'll take our 5 deep breaths and just listen to your breath like it's an ocean wave. Relaxing your face with your exhales. Relax your neck and shoulders. Relaxing your forehead and your eyebrows and your eyelids. Listening to the sounds in the room. Listening to sounds outside. Coming back to your breath and listening to your breath. And let it relax you even deeper as you just concentrate on your breath coming in and out. Your lungs expanding and contracting. Your belly rising with your inhale and falling with the exhale. Relaxing the whole back and the hips. Relax any tension you may be holding in your glutes or legs. Relax your feet. Thinking about the bottoms of your feet and how that could ground you just by thinking of the bottoms of your feet connecting to earth. Keep your thoughts on your feet and your breath. So, starting in our book. Because of its subtle and specialized technique, meditation is best learned from a qualified instructor. It is not easy to learn it properly from a book, but here's a good way to get started. First way to start is with breath awareness. Notice your breath. Just notice yourself laying quietly, how your hands are resting, what it feels like with the eye pillow over your eyes. And notice your natural breath. Just light and easy. Let your attention follow your breathing. Feel your breath entering your nostrils and flowing down into your lungs. Don't inhale deeply or hold your breath. Just breathe normally. When you exhale, let your attention follow the air up and out of the lungs, softly through the nostrils. Nothing is forced here. The breathing is moving easily and gently. Your attention is following it softly as leaves swaying in the treetops. As your breathing relaxes, make it a little lighter. Again, don't force this, but when you feel that your breathing wants to get a bit slower and lighter, just let it happen. If you start to feel a short breath, don't worry. This means that you need a little more air and that deep stresses are coming out. Or you may also be forcing your breath to be lighter than it wants to be. Just return to whatever rate of breathing your body feels comfortable with. And when you're comfortable with this effortless process, you can add a mantra. The mantra "so hum" to produce silently thinking the word "so" on the inhalation and "hum" on each exhalation. So you'll inhale and think the word "so," and exhale the word "hum." You'll be inhaling the word "so," like S-O, and the word "hum," like H-U-M. Inhaling the word "so," S-O. Exhaling the word "hum," H-U-M. Keep practicing this exercise for 2 to 5 minutes, just closing your eyes and focusing your mind on easy, natural breathing and silently repeating "so hum, so hum, so hum, so hum, so hum, so hum, so So hum. So hum. So hum. So hum. So hum. So hum. What is happening with this exercise? You probably noticed that just by paying attention to your breathing, you sank deeper and deeper into relaxation. And as you did so, your mind naturally became quieter. If you experienced a few glimpses of complete silence, which you aren't likely to have noticed because I didn't ask you to be on the lookout, if you had looked for silence, it wouldn't have appeared. Yet, I imagine there were stretches where you lost track of time, which is a good indication that you are getting very near to the goal. Most people experience much fainter thoughts than usual, which is another good sign. And as you gain experience with meditation, you will begin to feel the appearance of youthful energy and vitality that is being released from a deeper level of the nervous system. This is a very profound change and the real fountain of youth. Although meditation has been wrapped in an aura of mysticism for many centuries, at its heart lies the extremely practical and unmystical process of quieting the mind. It is the surest way to open a channel of healing. Healing sounds are nature's finest vibrations. Nature provides a wide variety of vibrations to remind us of our essential nature. Any sound that helps to quiet and expand the mind can be considered a healing sound. According to Ayurveda, these subtle sounds are not incidental. All of nature is made up of them. In the complete stillness of the quantum mechanical universe, primordial sounds are born from patterns and in time blossom into matter, energy, and all the infinite variety of things made of matter and energy. Stars, trees, rocks, and human beings. The calls of wild birds. The buzzing of bees. The crash of waves against the shore. The rustling of leaves in the summer breeze. All of these sounds can be healing. Make it a point to spend time in nature and listen to the healing sounds that surround you. If you live in a dense urban environment where you cannot regularly access natural sounds, bring nature to you with recordings of rainforests, ocean waves, or waterfalls. The theory behind healing sound treatment is that the mind can return to the quantum level. Introduce certain sounds that may have become distorted somewhere along the line and thus have a profound healing influence in the body. Connecting to these healing sounds on a regular basis is good medicine. Quantum reality. Since this is such a foreign concept to people rooted in material reality, as all of us are, let's take a moment to put primordial sound into perspective. Western physicists already acknowledge that at the deepest level of the natural world, we find the quantum field. A quantum field is defined as the smallest unit of light, electricity, or other energy that can possibly exist. The word quantum comes from the Latin word for how much. Quantum reality defies our common sense notions. There is no solid matter in it. For example, an atom used to be considered the smallest particle of matter in creation. The word atom, in fact, comes from the Greek for not able to be divided. Yet, up close, an atom is comprised of tinier bits of matter whirling at lightning speed around a huge empty space. So empty that it rivals the void of intergalactic space. The interval between two electrons are proportionately wider than the one separating the Earth and Sun. If you zero in on these bits of subatomic matter, they are not material at all, but rather mere vibrations of energy that have taken on the appearance of solidity. This discover that matter is a fluctuation of energy dressed up in a different guise fueled the quantum revolution led by Einstein and his colleagues at the beginning of the last century. Instead of relying on solid particles that moved around like billiard balls on that table, physicists were confronted with ghostly vibrations that looked substantial one minute and abstract the next. The quantum revelation made it inevitable that our worldview would change. Quantum physics proved that the infinite variety of objects we see around us, stars, galaxies, mountains, trees, butterflies, and amoebas, is connected by infinite internal, unbounded quantum fields, a kind of invisible quilt that has all of the creation stitched into it. Objects that looked separate and distinct to us are in fact all sewn into the design of this vast quilt. The hard edges of any object, such as a chair or a table, are an illusion forced upon us by the limits of our sight. If we had eyes tuned into the quantum world, we would see these edges blur and finally melt, giving way to an unlimited quantum fields. Finding this quantum level of nature has had practical application. It gave us X-rays, transistors, superconductors, and lasers, things that were inconceivable until science delved deeper into the fabric of creation. And now, it's believed that a single superfield called the unified field exists. It is the ultimate reality that underlies all of nature. Like a tree whose twigs lead to stems and stems to branches, and like a tree whose twigs lead to stems and stems to branches and branches to one main trunk, the whole multiplicity of nature comes together in this one embracing field. So we too are part of nature. We must be part of the unified field. It is in and around us all the time. It is possible to experience this all-encompassing field in your own mind via meditation. A meditator describes the experience. I feel the boundaries of the mind being pushed out, like the ever-widening circumference of a circle, until the circle disappears and only infinity remains. It is a feeling of great freedom, but also one of naturalness, far more real and natural than being confined to a small space. This is surely a dramatic shift of awareness which causes the mind to grasp a new profound truth, that a human being is more than a package of flesh and blood, localized in time and space. In fact, we have two homes, one local, the other infinite. If you turn to physics and find that in the world of our senses, electrons, quarks, and other elementary particles also appear to be localized in time and space. But once you venture over the quantum threshold, each particle is the tip of a wave that extends infinitely in all directions through space-time. This means that you cannot see yourself accurately until you become aware of both your identities. The same meditator continues. Sometimes the sense of infinity is so strong that I lose the sensation of body or matter in an infinite, unbounded awareness, an internal, never-changing continuum of consciousness. It is highly unlikely that this description is just a subjective illusion. Countless others like it have been recorded in every spiritual tradition of man, both Eastern and Western. Using sound as medicine. The obvious question arises: how are we connected to the unified field? By visible threads composed of faint vibrations, what Ayurveda calls primordial sound. This again is plausible from the viewpoint of modern physicists. It is obvious that when two electrons are held together in the helium atom, despite the immense void that separates them, an invisible but extremely strong bond is present. This bond must also have an element of design in it. Since every atom in the universe is perfect and remains perfect forever, the sages of Ayurveda claim to have detected these bonds, which act as the glue of the universe, through sounds that came into their own awareness. Having heard them, the sages could also reproduce these sounds and pass them on to others. A primordial sound can be spoken or chanted aloud. It is more powerful if it is used internally as a mental sound. The proof of the primordial sound is real lies in its application. If the body is basically glued together by sounds, as the sages contend, then the presence of a disease means that some sounds must have gotten out of tune. As an example, not until she turned 75 did Molly Sanders have any trouble with her heart. She began to suffer from recurrent bouts of dull chest pain and was diagnosed as angina pectoris. Molly did not have to exert herself to bring on an attack. One might come while she was sitting still, or might wake her up in the middle of the night. Her diary records 15 episodes between January and May when the angina began, or about 3 attacks per month. Some were mild and passed after 1 or 2 minutes. Others were more severe, emanating pain from the center of her chest for up to 10 minutes, leaving her panting and feeling faint. I didn't live this long by worrying about my problems, she told her friends. Nonetheless, the experience frightened her. When she went to her cardiologist, Molly's test disclosed no serious blockage in her coronary arteries. Like most elderly people, her arteries had hardened somewhat, but there were no large fatty plaque deposits starving the heart muscles of its oxygen. However, there is a second kind of angina that results from spasms of the coronary vessels, and Molly had that. Her arteries were just narrow enough that the mild, even unnoticeable stress tightened them sufficiently to bring on an angina attack. "We don't know everything about this condition," her doctor said. "Just take it easy from now on." "When you're 75 years old," Molly snapped, "all you do is take it easy." Although she began taking a standard medication to stabilize her blood vessels, she wanted to do everything possible to avoid taking medicines on a long-term basis. Early in June, on the advice of her son, Molly became our patient. After taking complete medical history, we instructed her in meditation and encouraged her to begin listening to the sounds of nature on a daily basis. And we taught her to chant aloud the sound associated with the heart center. According to Tantra, the spiritual tradition that is closely related to Ayurveda, we each possess 7 energy centers known as chakras. These chakras can be thought of as junction points between mind and matter. The first center at the base of the spine is associated with basic survival issues. The second center in the reproductive area governs creativity. The third, located in the solar plexus, is concerned with the personal power. The fourth center in the heart is important in relationships. The fifth chakra, located in the throat, is responsible for expressing ourselves. The sixth chakra is located between the eyes, usually known as the third eye, and is the center for insight and intuition. Finally, the seventh center is at the crown of the head and is said to open when we experience higher states of consciousness. Each chakra has a mantra associated with it. According to Tantra, expressing the mantra with your attention to the chakra can open up energy that may be congested in that region. The mantras for each of the 7 energy centers are as follows. The first chakra is at the base of the spine, and the mantra is Lam, 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 L-A-M, Lam, 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 Lam. The second chakra is located in the genitals, and the sound, the mantra for the second chakra sounds like Vam, Vam, V-A-M, Vam, Vam, Vam. The third chakra is the solar plexus, right at the base of your rib cage, in the middle. And the sound of this mantra is Ram, 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 R-A-M, Ram, Ram, Ram. The fourth chakra, the heart, is where it's located, right in the middle of the chest. And the mantra sound for this chakra is Yam, 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 Y-U-M. Yam, Yam, Yam. The fifth chakra is located in the middle of the throat. The sound of this chakra is hum, 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 H-U-M, hum, hum. The sixth chakra is located in the third eye, right in the middle of the forehead. Thinking of this space while you say the mantra Sham, 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 S-H-A-M, Sham, Sham. I was also taught that the sixth chakra was Om, Om, O-M. That your two eyes are pointed up in the middle of the forehead when you're thinking this word Om, or saying it out loud. Om. In this particular book, the seventh chakra, the crown chakra on the top of the head, they say this mantra sound is Om. But in school, I learned that there is no sound for the chakra on the top of the head. The crown chakra is silent. So back to our friend Molly with the angina. We encouraged Molly to chant the sound for the heart several times a day. Yum, 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 yum. 2 months later, Molly wrote me a happy letter that began, I have no more pain. Her angina attacks had stopped a week after she began using the heart chakra mantra and have not returned. Delight and relief came through her in her writing. She feels comfortable in activity now. Most angina sufferers are extremely anxious about exerting themselves, even slightly. This summer, she took a bold step and enrolled as a full-time college student. She tells me with pride that she is the oldest undergraduate in the history of her college. How does Ayurveda explain the effects of using sounds to heal? Intellectually, you cannot possibly analyze all the vibrations that influence your life. The oscillation of the atoms comprising your cells, the beating of your heart, the rhythms of the planets. Each of these influence your life in a subtle but profound way. According to Ayurveda, the many different vibrations that comprise our lives sometimes get out of sync. This disharmony that results sows the seeds for illness. In that event, Ayurveda tells us to apply a specifically chosen sound, like a mold or a template slipped over the disturbed cells, coaxing them back into line. Not physically, but by repairing the sequence of sound that the heart of every cell. In the case of disorder like angina, we know that the brain sends specific signals and constricts the arteries, working through the messenger molecules that stimulate the nerve and muscle cells in the middle layers of the blood vessels. Molly's spasms were being caused by some kind of improper message. Certain medicines take advantage of this fact by inhibiting the brain's chemical messengers so that their message never gets delivered. But the real source of these molecules is the mind. If one went directly to the thinking process and corrected the brain's impulses, then treatment should be given even more effective and gentler. This is the purpose of healing sounds. The degree of healing achieved by sounds varies from person to person. After several years of prescribing them, we have witnessed hundreds of cases where patients with heart disease, cancer, multiple sclerosis, and even AIDS have reported alleviation of pain, anxiety, and various other troubling symptoms. These are anecdotal reports, meaning that they have not been studied statistically using the proper controls needed for specific validation. Therefore, they cannot be offered as proof that this subtle healing technique is effective. By the standards of scientific medicine, there is a long way to go before the ironclad proof is available. On the other hand, the Ayurvedic approach is rooted in thousands of years of experience, and using it can supplement the benefits of standard medical treatment. Discovering that the human body is fundamentally a web of sound comes as a revelation, and when put into practice, the theory yields remarkable results. In a matter of a few hours, one's self-image completely changes. People often report dramatic transformation in their powers of perception, using healing sound as a perfect illustration of the Ayurvedic saying that the world is as you are. When your perception opens up in here, so does everything out there. For this healing visualization, we'll use attention and intention. Focusing your attention on an area in your body that needs healing and introducing an intention is a powerful therapeutic technique. Ayurveda says whatever we put our attention on grows stronger in our lives. If you spend 2 hours a day at the fitness center building up your body and muscles will grow, but your grades in schools may fall. If you spend your evenings and weekends at the office, your business may grow, but your family relationships may suffer. Ayurveda states that you can use your attention to activate healing in your body. You can change your mind and body by consciously directing your awareness to the aspect you believe needs attention. Another principle of Ayurveda is intention has infinite organizing power. This means that just being clear on a desired outcome can have a pronounced effect on achieving your goal, without necessarily having to handle all the details. When you want to throw your baseball, you don't have to have an analyze and contraction and release of every muscle in your body. You simply have the intention, and your inner intelligence coordinates the tens of millions of activities needed to occur for you to throw the ball. This release of sugar from your liver, the metabolism of sugar into energy, changes in blood flow, and your breathing pattern are organized by nature without your conscious control. If you had to consciously pay attention to the details, you would never accomplish anything. You can use these principles to enliven the healing forces in your body. Even though you may not have realized you can influence them, awakening your inner healer requires a different set of producers than the way you usually accomplish things. When you want to lift your hand, you send a signal from your brain to your spinal cord, causing certain muscles to contract and others to relax. And when you want to lower your blood pressure or improve your immune function, you must use a subtler approach that relies upon your attention and intention. Try the following visualization and see if you are able to influence functions in the body that you may have previously not thought possible. Sit quietly with your eyes closed for a few moments, then bring your attention into your heart and acknowledge all of the things for which you feel gratitude. Now, have intention to release any grievance, regrets, or hostility you may be carrying in your heart or mind. Later, if you so choose, you can bring those grievances back into your consciousness, but for the time of this meditation, let them go. Now, for a moment or two, silently repeat the phrase, "Thy will be done. Thy will be done. Thy will be done. Thy will be done." Address this to your own vision of universal consciousness, whether you refer to it as God or Spirit or any other way. Repeat, "Thy will be done," like a mantra. Have the intention of quieting your internal dialogue and allow your attention to move through your body. If you discover an area of tension, intend that it should be relaxed. Now, bring your attention to your breathing. At first, just slow and observe your breath, then intend for your breath to slow down. Move awareness to your heart. Become aware of its beat as sound and as feeling. Have an intention for your heart rate to slow down. Now bring attention to your hands. Feel the throbbing of your heartbeat in your hands. Feel the tingling and the warmth that emanates from your heart. Intend to increase the blood flow and the temperature of your hands. Move your awareness to your eyes. Feel the throbbing of your heartbeat in your eyes and then your face. Now, let your awareness move freely throughout your body. Feel the warmth, tingling, and throbbing of your heartbeat wherever you choose. If you find an area of your body that you believe needs healing, intend warmth for that area. If you are not aware of such an area in your body, Just return awareness to your heart. But bring the throbbing warmth of your heartbeat to any point that you wish to nourish and heal. Now, with awareness and intention of the healing area of your body, repeat for several minutes these two words like a mantra in healing and transformation. 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 Move awareness back to your heart without intention now. Just be aware of your heartbeat. Then move awareness to your breath. Coming into your breath, notice your breathing. Slowly coming back to awareness and waking up. And after a few moments, open your eyes and complete the healing meditation.